Hello, Mixtresses and Mixters. This is Mixtress Ray, and you're watching Mixtress Video. It's time for another pick-a-pile reading. This one is going to be Seven of Swords themed. So my particular key phrase when I think of Seven of Swords is Schrodinger's truth. The point is not whether or not someone's lying to you. The point is you can't know everything. You will never know completely 100% if you can trust someone. You will never know completely what's going on with other people, what's going on inside their minds, what's going on inside your mind. So this is not necessarily, we'll see if the cards disagree with me when I start pulling them. This is not necessarily a revealing truths situation. It's more a accepting the things that you cannot know and being able to move forward without knowing all the facts. Because I think we get kind of obsessed with knowing all the facts in a situation, right? And I thought that it might be comforting to have animals talk to us about these situations. So I have Crow's Magic, pile 1, pile 2, Tarot of the Magical Forest, pile 3, Crow Tarot. Also, if you'd like to choose based on a key word, one of your oracle cards, pile 1 is longing, pile 2 is betrayal, and pile 3 is grieving. And this is a good, these keywords on this oracle deck. This is Julie's JBG oracle. This is a good indicator of what you're getting into. So what do you feel most? Longing, betrayal, or grieving? When in conjunction with a situation that you feel like you don't know the whole truth of, or in relation to trust. Yeah. So there you go. Let's light a candle. Okay. Let's do this. Pile 1. Actually, I've got the other oracle cards all up here, so I'll just move these up out of the shot. And here are the oracle cards for pile 1. Okay, I'm going to have to do some extra shuffling with Crow's Magic because this deck is in order. I put all of my tarot decks in order at the beginning of the year, and this is the first time I'm using Crow's Magic this year. Guess it might be a good idea to start with your oracle cards since I am going to have to shuffle for a minute. So let's do that. And that way we can kind of start talking about them as well. So you have Longing from Julie's JBG oracle. You have Sun and Stars, which is a fire card from the, oh shit, what is it called? Oh crap, the fucking Llewellyn Witch deck. Everyday Witch oracle. Sun and Stars. And then from Woodland Wardens, you have the Quail and Gooseberry. Anticipation is the key word on that one. And then from the Mixtress oracle, my Mixtress oracle, we have A Forest by The Cure. So in general, all of these vibes are, so anticipation, longing, the whole theme of The Cure's A Forest is that he's looking for a girl. He's looking for a girl in the forest, and then he finds out she was never there. she doesn't exist. So I think the general idea of what you're dealing with, pile 1. You have expectations of life that are not being met. Okay. That's happening. That's a thing. Your cards are coming out super fast too. If these turn out to be like cards that are in order, like if we get the 5, 6, and 7 of Cups, I will reshuffle because, not this one, because yeah, again, this deck isn't super well shuffled since I haven't used it yet this year, so it was in order. So the good side of this is through your anticipation and longing, there is a hopefulness, right? You've got this energy of like looking to the future, daydreaming about the possibilities. I do think that your expectations might be a bit high, a bit too high. And it's like you're waiting for your life to start is almost the vibe that I'm getting. You're waiting for your life to start instead of just getting into it, just doing the thing. And so hopefully these Crow's Magic cards will be like a helpful way for you to accept. I mean, I hate to say this, but like maybe lower your expectations a bit. You know, I don't know what this is in regards to for you personally. Maybe you're expecting too much from... So it reminds me of like, okay, so when you're in your teens and 20s, like even before that, everybody's pressuring you. Adults are always asking you, like, what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to do with your life? You better figure it out. I remember my mom said to me at one point, you better decide what you're going to do with your life because I forgot to decide. And then it was chosen for me. And it was just like very threatening, right? You better decide or else the world's going to decide for you. And I mean, that happens. That's kind of, sometimes that's a tower moment thing. Like if you don't make the choice to propel yourself forward, sometimes the tower moment will step in and do it for you. So I mean, that's not entirely wrong what she said. But I also think that too much pressure is put on people to decide what you want to do with your life, to decide who you're going to spend your life with. It's a good thing to have dreams. It's a good thing to have, I mean, longing is definitely equates to loneliness, right? But it also equates to hopefulness. You are wanting something. You are searching for something. And when you stop searching, when you stop longing, when you stop daydreaming, that's when apathy sets in. So at least you still long for things. At least you're still dreaming for things. But I think you're putting a little bit too much pressure on life to be like this ultimate, wonderful, beautiful thing. Or you're putting too much pressure on yourself to like figure it all out. And, you know, speaking as if you're younger than me, then I am your elder. Speaking as an elder, 40, an aging goth, 40 years old. I mean, okay, so I'm reminded of, I mean, I know this is a Marilyn Manson lyric, but I feel like it's probably from something else. I don't think he wrote it. It's that, when all of your wishes are granted, many of your dreams will be destroyed. So I think that applies to you guys. Like, you don't really want everything that you think you want. You know? Let me read these lyrics on this forest card. Come closer and see into the trees. Find the girl while you can. See into the dark. Just follow your eyes into the trees, into the trees. Suddenly I stop, but I know it's too late. I'm lost in a forest, all alone. The girl was never there. It's always the same. I'm running towards nothing, again and again and again and again and again and again and again. He actually says again 21 times, which feels significant because 21 cards in the Major Arcana. If you don't count the Fool, obviously. So it's good that you're hoping for things. It's good that you haven't gotten everything that you think you want. Because the thing with our psychology, unfortunately, is we have homeostasis. So no matter what, even if you had absolutely everything that you want in life, all the money, perfect career, perfect love interest / family, whatever that looks like for you, even if your life were absolutely 100% perfect, you still would kind of come back to the general equilibrium of where you are. So you can actually choose to be happy now without all of the things that you want. Don't put off living until you've checked certain boxes in your life. Okay, so that's just, all of that is just from your oracle cards. Let's turn over your tarot cards. 7 of Cups, Wonder, and Chance. Again, more daydreaming. I think that's a good thing, though. Like, there needs to be more daydreaming in our everyday lives. So you have this beautiful, youthful optimism, but you also, I feel a pressure too. And it's like, sometimes you have to ask yourself, okay, where's this pressure coming from? Am I actually putting this on myself? Or is it coming from other people in my life? Is it coming from adults? Because I'm really just like feeling like the energy here is that I'm talking to someone in their 20s or younger even. Then we have 5 of Swords, Distress and Confusion, the Lovers, Twin Soul, Reverence, High Priestess, Necromancer, Seer. I'm just going to read the keywords. I don't know if they're going to come into play necessarily. Page of Coins, Expression and Message, Emperor, Overlord and Supremacy, and Star, Empyrean and Celestial. Okay. 1 court card, 4 major arcana cards, and 2 minor arcana cards. So this is a big time for you. I feel like I always say this when it comes to like love, but I think that love for you is not going to look like what you think it's going to look like. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. Who you're imagining in your head as like your perfect twin soul. This deck was made in 1998. Yeah. So the whole twin soul thing wasn't cliche yet, so I will forgive it. In order to find your counterpart in this life, it's going to look different than you think it is. It's going to look a lot different. Right now, it's more important that you work on yourself. So if when you chose this pile, you saw the longing card, and for you, you were thinking you were longing for a counterpart. You were longing for a person to call your boyfriend, girlfriend, other friend, someone to like spend the rest of your life with. You were looking for that kind of finality. That's not coming yet, I don't think, for you. Because you're still searching for stability. You're still searching for... You're still young. And even if, like, you pick this pile and you're actually 55, like, you have a very childlike mentality, and that is going to attract people to you. Because you still have this youthful joy towards life, but it's just, I feel like it's other people. Other people are telling you that you need to find a career. Other people are telling you that you need to, like, you know, find your person to get married. And maybe you think you want that too, but if you really ask yourself, you're not ready for that yet, actually. Does that make sense? Or how you conceptualize, I just feel like how you conceptualize what your future is going to look like, it's really not going to be that. And that's not a bad thing. It's just going to be different. I want to read the Quail and Gooseberry from the guidebook. What do we got? L1? What is L1? I still don't know. 30, 40, I guess that's 50? Yeah. Card number 51. Last card in the deck, actually. Fresh gooseberries. I guess I should probably hold it up while I'm saying this. Fresh gooseberries are a tempting treat, but pick them without care and you might hurt yourself. Gooseberry bushes are loaded with thorns meant to protect the delicate fruit within. Similarly, the quail anticipates danger by hiding among low-growing vegetation. From its obscured perch, it keeps careful watch, monitoring for predators. The event or outcome you anticipated is about to occur. Take advantage of your foreknowledge, preparing for what's to come. That's the upright. Reverse. You've made a mistake that has put you in danger. Use this experience to better guard against the outcome in the future. And then a couple of questions to ask yourself or journaling prompts. Am I often surprised or caught off guard by how things turn out? How can I balance vigilance and a healthy openness to risk? Interesting. So how does that fit in? There is a lot of looking to the future also about all of your cards, because there's 7 of Cups, daydreaming about different paths to take. There's longing, there's searching, anticipation. This, she's looking to the stars, but also you could consider that she's looking to the future. You know, there's a lot of looking to the future. There's a lot of anticipating the future. So either it's going to come to pass exactly how you think it's going to, and you're as prepared as you're ever going to be. And you do probably have some psychic powers about you. Or it's not going to be exactly how you think it's going to be. But it's more about, I just feel like there's a lot of voices in your head, and a good portion of them are not yours. See how beautifully quiet this card is? It's quiet. It's because the High Priestess trusts herself. Trusts in the knowledge that she contains within her. She's not asking other people for answers. And if you can get to that quiet space, sort of a more traditional meaning of Page of Cups, and this does have the message as one of the key words, you know, if you can quiet yourself, quiet out the voices of everyone else, then you will get a message as to your future. So I think there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of other people's thoughts that are running through your head. And that's what all of these possibilities are in the 7 of Cups. A lot of confusion of other people's thoughts. So once you shut those out and listen to yourself, listen to your own inner knowing, as they say, then you will get that message from your subconscious. And it will lead to this sort of like the stability of the Emperor and the hope from the star. And this is also sun and stars. So like, overall, like, I just feel like there's like, if your longing is manifesting as loneliness and wanting something different, waiting for your life to start, I think you should put a twist on that, on the way that you see that energy. Your longing and your daydreaming about the future means that you have hope, means that you are creative, means that you can take your dreams and like daydreams and like, you know, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations towards the future, your hopefulness towards the future. You can take that and use it. You can spread it to other people. Maybe that's also what this Page of Coins is, that you are meant to bring your hopefulness, your optimism, your dreams, share them with others in whatever way you want to be doing that. And just taking the High Priestess and this Quail card together, it could be that you have a particular insight into the future as a more psychic person in this realm. You might actually be able to help other people prepare for their futures. So if you're looking for the, like, who am I going to be? If that's a question that you have, it could have something to do with the foresight that you hold within you. Whether you consider yourself to be a psychic person or not. Or you could have, I'm trying to think of another way to see this other than psychic powers. Maybe you're really good at preparing for things, planning things. Because there is a lot of planning here too. There's daydreaming and planning. Maybe you can put that energy to good use by like planning a trip with friends and family. Yeah, I'm really getting like sort of the vibe from the guidebook in Woodland Wardens was more like a preparation for something coming. It's more something scary. But I really get the vibe that your preparation for the future is more stacking things up towards hopefulness and optimism and fun. Like use that youthful energy that you still have within you to spread it to others. Because we all need a little bit more of that. Stop listening to the adults that tell you to be scared of everything. Even if you yourself are an adult. Okay. That's my message for you. Pile 1. Forgive the rose petals everywhere. My kitten took a rosebud and just started chewing on it. She's a monster. Okay, pile 2. So, pile 2 is Tarot of Magical Forest, and I will start shuffling that in a minute, but let's pull your oracle cards first. So from Everyday Witch Oracle, we have Transformation and Change. From Woodland Wardens, we have The Sheep and Blackberry, Devotion. From Julie's JBG Oracle, we have Betrayal. And then from my Mixtress Oracle, Running Up That Hill, Kate Bush. So, if you pick this pile because you feel like you have been betrayed by someone you love and you're questioning their devotion, Running Up That Hill is a song about empathy. Okay, we got 9 of Pentacles already coming out. It's a song about empathy. It's a song about switching places with someone so that you can understand each other's perspectives. So the person that you are wondering if they betrayed you, I mean, this whole reading was meant to be acceptance of the things that you cannot know. So I don't know if you will find an answer to that. Ooh, ah. Okay. Bunch of cards just fell on the floor. This one's a yes. And especially seeing transformation and change. Again, we're seeing someone walking by themselves. These 2 cats seem to be meeting each other. There's a pair of cats and a pair of butterflies. Butterflies, of course, symbolizing change. And the 2 cats. But she is confidently walking alone. And then, you know, the traditional meaning of 9 of Pentacles being independence. I don't know if this means that, like, there's a breakup coming or that a breakup should happen in your life, but it at least means that if you were considering, if you were thinking to yourself, well, I couldn't make it alone. Yeah, actually you can. You can. So I'll tell you that right away. You can. Let me read you the lyrics from Running Up That Hill. If I only could, I'd make a deal with God. Get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill with no problem. You don't want to hurt me, but see how deep the bullet lies. Unaware, I'm tearing you asunder. Oh, there is thunder in our hearts. Is there so much hate for the ones we love? Tell me we both matter, don't we? It's you and me. It's you and me. We won't be unhappy. So there's a lot of hopefulness there. Wanting to connect to the other person, but not being able to because there's a power imbalance. And particularly, you know, like any heteronormative relationships, there's always a power imbalance. There's always a power imbalance with people in general. Like either one person makes more money than the other, so therefore has a different status in our society, or like one person is older than the other, so they have more power. One person is a man, so they have more power. One person is... There's all of these different systems of inequality. And that can lead to a lot of mistrust. That can lead to a lot of not seeing eye to eye. And you question someone's devotion, right? You question their devotion. You might feel like someone has betrayed you. It's a thing. Don't feel bad if you're in this space of feeling very... You know, feeling very... just betrayed. You know, I feel that. You feel betrayed. You feel like this person does not understand where you're coming from. And you might even be having a lot of fights with someone where it's like you're both just like talking at each other because you do not see eye to eye. And that sucks. I'm sorry you're going through that. So far, what I'm seeing here, I don't know, it's half and half, right? Because we have devotion with sheep and blackberry. So that's making me think y'all will work it out. And this running up that hill is kind of a probably we'll work it out. It's you and me. It's you and me. We won't be unhappy. But then we also have the 9 of Pentacles with this person all independent, and this transformation and change looks like a person moving from a dark space to a lighter space, confidently and alone, right? I want to read from Woodland Wardens. This is card number 5. So it's kind of like the Hierophant, because the first like 10-ish cards in this deck really seem, 10 or 15 cards really seem to be in alignment with the first 10 or 15 cards in the Major Arcana. Kind of falls apart after that, which makes me think that maybe Jessica Rue at first was making a tarot deck, and then she was like, shit, never mind, that's too many cards. Okay, Devotion. The Sheep and Blackberry calls us to focus on our commitments, whether they're to a partner, a job, a creative practice, or a spiritual tradition. Sheep are innocent and vulnerable and must be watched over and guided. Blackberries are symbols of protection with their large brambling thorns. Their abundant fruit also symbolizes prosperity. Combining the energies of the two gives us a direction. Honor our promises, allowing them to fruit and flourish. Upright, in what people or practices do you find wisdom and stability? Remember to care well for these sources of guidance and protection. Reverse, you can be your own guide. Your wisdom comes from within rather than without, and it is your responsibility to impart this gift as a mentor or teacher. Okay, so for some of y'all, you made a commitment. If you are coming to this reading because you're wondering if a romantic partner has betrayed you, it depends on how committed you are to them. How long have you been together? Do you have a fucking piece of paper that says that you're supposed to be together forever? These things do matter. And if you are the one that has done the betrayal and you're thinking about sharing what you did with the other person, it's a tricky thing because on the one hand, you want to be totally upfront with them, right? But are you thinking of telling them what you did to unburden yourself of the secret more so than you are to be truthful and actually work through it? I'm not coming down one way or another on that. And if it's the other way around, if you are wondering if your partner has cheated on you, do you really want to know the answer? It's such a weird thing to suggest that you might not want to know the answer, but you might not. How committed are you to this person? I had a situation once. I think I've told this story before. It was the only time I've ever cheated on someone, and I felt just awful about it. It was someone that I just was not, in the end, I was not committed to this person, and that's why it happened. So that's another point, too, is like, if you are perpetually cheating on your partner, you have to question your commitment to your partner, because obviously that commitment isn't super strong if you are cheating on them, and vice versa. I know people do come back from cheating, but I don't know how you do, because you're never going to fully trust that person, right? And so I'm not the best person to ask about this because I don't know how you regain trust. But if you know yourself well enough to know that you never will regain trust if you find the answer to it, how committed are you to that person? Are you committed enough that you'd rather just not know the answer and move forward with your relationship and commit yourself fully to them? Or if you're the one that's cheating, that's just a lot of questions. I need to flip over the rest of the cards. But in any case, the time that I cheated on someone, I felt awful about it, of course, but at the root of it, it was because I was not committed to him at all. I knew from the beginning that we weren't forever. He was kind of a rebound that just ended up being 8 months. We ended up living together, weird circumstances, because we were going to be roommates even before we started dating. But anyway, the point is, I decided that telling him would just hurt him. It was better for me to just end the relationship. So the next time I saw him after the incident, I broke up with him. Because there was no reason, since our relationship was over, in my mind, obviously, or else I wouldn't have cheated on him. The relationship was over, and that was my stupid way of subconsciously ending the relationship, was cheating on that person. And I don't know if that's the case every time someone cheats on someone else. I really, obviously human beings are very different and have very different circumstances for different things, for different circumstances. But for me, if I ever got to a point of cheating on someone, it's because I'm putting that final nail in the coffin of the relationship. So ask yourself, if you're the one cheating, is that what you're doing? And if you suspect that your partner is, are they putting a nail in the coffin of your relationship? Is there something that you guys have not talked out? Because at the root of running up that hill, it's an argument. You're arguing about something. You're trying to see each other's perspective. So is there an argument that you're not having? And so far with these cards, I haven't even flipped any of these over yet, but so far with these cards, I'm seeing that the commitment that you have right now is to yourself. And that's okay. That doesn't have to be wrong. It's okay to be alone. It's totally okay. Okay, I have to pause really quickly. I will be right back. Okay. Let's flip over the rest of your cards. Magician. Look at this bunny. Oh my god, I love this deck. Two of Swords. Hierophant. So we're kind of getting Hierophant twice, a little bit, here. Oh my god, this fucking deck. I've only had it since my birthday, so I've had it like 4 months. And I just haven't used it that much yet, but it's great. The Fool. Devil. And Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's a lot of... Look at these little... They're like poodles. These little chained up poodles. Yeah, man. I don't know. This is suggesting that... sorry, I'm getting a very specific situation here of like... obviously it's not going to apply to everyone, but I do get a specific situation where like there is a relationship between two people, probably in a very committed relationship, that they're actually, one or both of them is actually not committed anymore, not emotionally, even if you have that piece of paper. You're not emotionally committed anymore. And you have to do what's best for you. If you're thinking to yourself, well, what about the kids or whatever? I think this is one of those scenarios. I was personally, as a child of divorce, my parents divorced when I was in first grade. Or at least separated then. Yeah, it was around that time. Kindergarten, first grade, somewhere around there. So I barely remember my parents being together. So that's my perspective, my bias. I wasn't really devastated at all. In fact, my first response was, can I get a new daddy now? Said that right in front of my dad. But in the end, like for me, and I mean, that's an isolated incident. Like a lot of kids really are devastated by divorce of their parents, of course. But particularly if you're in a similar situation where your kids are still pretty damn young, do it now. Do it now. If you already know, and you do, this is kind of like baby high priestess, right? Two of Swords. This is how I think of Two of Swords, as baby high priestess. You already know what you want to do. And all signs in this reading are pointing towards independence. Here, swift movement, starting over. This is like the structure that you are in right now. The beliefs that you have created surrounding this relationship need to be put into question. This is also kind of a devotion card, right? the high priest, or the Hierophant, is a devotion card. You have to like ask yourself, who am I really committed to? And I think it's you. You know, you are the magician. My God, I love these cards. Every time I do a reading for someone else with a deck, almost every time I completely fall in love with the deck. Sorry, that's totally a distraction from the serious thing that you guys might be going through right now. I'm so sorry. You got to break out of these chains, man. Do not be one of these little poodles. Break out. Get out. I do see like a few different scenarios going on here. Like, you're cheating on someone because you're done. You're emotionally done. And you need to admit that. And you don't, because we're talking about like this whole theme of this reading is Seven of Swords, Schrodinger's truth. You do not necessarily have to tell your partner all the truth, because it might even hurt them more. Maybe, I think there's a scenario, this is very like, I feel like I should be more careful with what I'm saying, because I do not want to suggest an ethical or moral thing to you that's going to go against your morality. Okay, so please take anything I'm saying as like a mirror, right? Like, are you bristling like viscerally at what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not it. That's not what I want to do at all. Go with your own thoughts, you know, go with your reactions to what I'm saying, not literally what I'm saying. Because there's going to be scenarios of people that like, you have betrayed someone, and the best idea for you is to actually come clean and try to figure out what to do from there. Like, if you are, so I guess the question is, who are you devoted to? That's the big question. So if you have cheated on someone and you're questioning yourself whether or not you should tell them, if you are truly devoted to the relationship, depending on the type of cheating, depending on the circumstances, you might need to come clean. But if you're committed to, if you're realizing that the reason that you cheated is because you're not actually that committed to this person anymore, then you might not need to tell them. You might just need to make a clean break, move on. This running up that hill card suggests that, and the devotion card, both suggest that this is another scenario. Like, you might actually be able to work it out, but you have to actually listen to the other person. You can't just boil everything down to one simple thing. Like, you cheated on me, therefore that's it. And that might be the case, but I'm not sure how to speak about this situation, honestly, because it's such a tricky thing. Whether or not you tell someone that you've betrayed them, whether or not you want to know if someone else has betrayed you, genuinely want to know. But it's just, I really think the question at the root of all of it is your commitment. Who are you committed to? Who are they committed to? So maybe another scenario, if you happen to be like, forgive the use of this term, but you know what it means. If you were the mistress in a situation, like, who is that person committed to? Likely they're committed to the person that they have the more committed relationship to. If you're the secret, they're probably more committed to the other person, right? That's not always the case. In fact, probably most of the time, if somebody's cheating on somebody, they're not actually committed to anyone except themselves. They're committed to their own needs being met. They're not committed to their long-term partner. They're not committed to the mistress. They're committed to themselves. So if you are that person, or if you are entangled with a person like that, you got to know they're unlikely to change. And you, if you are that person, you're perpetually cheating on people. And it could be an addictive situation for you. Maybe you've cheated on people many times in your life and you can't seem to stop. It's time to take some time for yourself to really get to the root of why you do this. This running up that hill card could even be a stand-in for therapy. Maybe this is couples therapy even. Yeah, this is tricky. This is very tricky, and I am sorry that I don't really have anything other than just a bunch of questions to ask yourself. But that kind of makes sense for Seven of Swords. The point is not that we are going to have an answer today. It's just that we are going to have to accept what we cannot know. So if your question is, did a person cheat on me? You're probably not going to know the answer. So if you don't trust someone, why don't you trust them? Is that something within you, like you never trust anyone? Or is it something within their behavior that's making you not trust them specifically? I just keep coming back to, who are you devoted to? Who are you committed to? I mean, it needs to be yourself first, but then who's next? Is it your long-term partner? Is it someone that does not put that same trust and commitment back to you? I'm sorry, this is tricky for you guys. I'm sorry you're going through this. Okay. I don't have any good answers for you, but yeah, I don't have any good answers. I'm sorry. You'll be okay though. I mean, that Nine of Pentacles says that, okay, let's just end it. I need to end it on where did it go? There we go, there's that Nine of Pentacles. So the hope here, I mean, you're moving towards the sun, right? And you are in a space of transformation and change. And you can make it on your own. So if it turns out that this situation leaves you alone, you're not alone. And you have everything you need within yourself. This person is very self-satisfied. So that is the hope that you have. Okay, pile 3. I'm going to take a drink. Grieving. This is with Crow Tarot. And let's go through your oracle cards first. Affirmation for positive change. So it's a very Six of Swords moment in that card. Your Woodland Warden's card is the Snake and Fern, starting over. And then your Mixtress Oracle card is Out of Me, Onto You, Ani DeFranco. It's going to be sudden. It's going to be strange. It's going to be long overdue. It's all going to come out of me, onto you. Some people wear their smile like a disguise. Those people who smile a lot, watch the eyes. I know it because I'm like that a lot. You think everything's okay, and it is, till it's not. Some people wear their heart upon their sleeve. I wear mine underneath my right pant leg strapped to my boot. Don't think because I'm easy, I'm naive. So this song, I really had to pick and choose the lyrics that I could put on here, because this is, Ani DeFranco is a lyrical genius. And there's a lot happening in this song. I would encourage you to listen to it if you haven't. before. This is a song about like a person that is always like that whole, you think everything's okay, and it is, till it's not. So I think that like sort of a scenario with you guys is that you, and we have starting over, an affirmation for positive change. So you're definitely going through big transitions right now. And you're just like, I almost get that sort of, you're at the breaking point. You're about to just lose it. You're about to really let them have it. You're about to just walk out of your job and call everybody cunts and run out and flip everybody off and leave that place. You're about to do that, or you're about to just like blow up your relationship or something. And it's because you're grieving. You know, we have someone crying here with a skeleton behind them, and they're holding an urn. So you might even be making a lot of weird, impulsive decisions right now because you're grieving an actual loss of someone, perhaps, or loss of a relationship, loss of a job. Or you might even be, I'm getting like a vibe also of like preemptive grieving almost. It's like you haven't actually left the job or the relationship or whatever yet, but you're already grieving it. Let me know if that applies to anyone. Yeah, that's the vibe that I'm getting. You're already grieving something that hasn't even come to pass yet. I mean, that might not be for everybody. Some of you might actually already be grieving something. You're anticipating something. Like you're anticipating the end of a relationship, the end of a life. Maybe there's someone that you love that is nearing the end of their lives, and you're already like trying to brace yourself. And I do also feel like more so than grief, there's anger. There's a lot of anger that you have been keeping at bay for a long time, and you're not going to be able to hold it in much longer. I almost feel like this affirmation for positive change, especially just being that it's called an affirmation, is like a forced hopefulness. And that makes it sound bad, but like I think you need this forced hopefulness. Because there's a negativity, pessimistic outlook that's surrounding you right now. Let's read I've been reading the stuff in the Woodland Wardens. What is Snake and Fern is card 34. The Roman numerals. I'm good with 0 through 21, but beyond that, okay. Starting over, the snake and fern calls us to start anew. Regularly shedding its skin, the snake is a symbol of rebirth and transformative healing. And in many cultures, the fern is associated with new life and new beginnings. To the Maori of New Zealand, an image of the unfurling silver fern frond, or koru, is a central motif indicating growth and let me start that sentence over. To the Maori of New Zealand, an image of the unfurling silver fern frond, or koru, is a central motif indicating growth and a return to one's origins. Together, the snake and fern inspire confidence as we start over or embark upon a new path. Rebirth is imminent. You may be feeling meek or fearful in the face of necessary change. Remember that all things must come to an end, and endings needn't be sorrowful. As a snake loses its skin, revealing a new layer of healthy scales, you too must shed what no longer serves. So, yeah, I mean, we need to flip over the tarot cards to see, how this unveils, how this further clarifies. But I do feel like you may be sadder than you need to be, and this is actually a more hopeful transformation than you think. King of Swords. Strength. Nine of Pentacles. Some of you guys that chose the second pile also chose this one. Nine of Cups. Five of Cups reversed. Yeah. That's really reinforcing what I was saying. It's not as sad as you think it is. It is not as sad as you think it is. I mean, literally, if we reverse what's on the Five of Cups, generally the Five of Cups, there's 3 overturned cups and 2 upright. Whereas if you reverse it, you've got 3 upright and 2 reversed cups, right? 2 overturned cups. So it's actually whatever transformation, change, whatever that you're going through, it is much better than you think it is. 8 of Pentacles. 3 of, I'm just getting more of a 3 of Swords. I'm getting more of a continuation of the second pile. That sort of betrayal feeling. You're a person that's further along the path, perhaps, or this is kind of what's coming on down the line for you if you picked pile 2 and you're still watching for pile 3. It's the right thing to do to move on. And it's not as dark. So if this is grief that you're preemptively that you are anticipating having over the death of a relationship, the death of a person, the death of a career, you're not, I mean, this definitely sounds yucky to say if this death of this person actually comes to pass, you're not going to be as sad about it as you think you are. It's not really that. It's that this might be in relation to, if this is the death of a person, it's probably in relation to a person that is not happy in this life anymore. And their release from it is the best thing for them and for you, particularly if you are a caretaker of someone that is in failing health. That's heavy. That's heavy. But it's the best possible thing. Being released from a relationship that's already dead is the best possible thing for you. It's actually going to give you everything you need to be liberated from this relationship. The grief is actually in the relationship. You know, if you do think of this as like the ending of a relationship, if you think of this card that way, you know, he dead. His feelings for you are dead. It's time to move on. You can't have a relationship with a corpse. And I mean an emotional corpse. I hope that you aren't going through like feeling like you can't move on from an actual death of a person. I hope that's not the kind of grief that you're going through right now. I don't think that's probably going to apply to any or many people that see this reading, because this overall vibe is like, it all happened for the best. Everything is much more positive than you think it's going to be. yeah, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to heal from whatever it is that you're leaving behind. But Three of Swords is about leaving something behind that's like, no, you're done. You're done. So whatever it is that you're thinking of leaving behind, it's actually not going to be as painful as you think it's going to be. And you're ready. You're ready to move on. There's going to be some difficult moments, indicated by the Strength card and the Eight of Pentacles. Well, I mean, Eight of Pentacles, like, you're going to be putting one foot in front of the other until it's going to become smooth, you know? But Strength, it's going to take a minute to overcome. But it's not going to be as bleak as you think. And you got to let it out. You got to let that anger out somehow. I'm not necessarily suggesting that you like scream at the person that you need to get away from, but it's time to let it out, though. It is time to let it out. Okay. I feel like there's nothing else that I can really say about this one. This change is going to happen. It's not going to be as sad as you think it's going to be. It is for the best. Whatever affirmations you need to tell yourself for that positive change, do it. You are heading towards a different life. And it is one that is more, in alignment with who you are. It's going to be what you want. And it's going to be a more independent lifestyle. If you're worried that you can't make it on your own, you can. I know I said that at the beginning of the reading, but just repeating it. You can make it on your own. If you're, afraid of leaving a job, you'll find another one and it'll be even better. This is you still working. You're not going to be unemployed for long. You will be working. But something is ending. For sure. Something is ending. And there will be grief, but it's not as bleak as you think it's going to be. I'm almost getting like a, don't be a drama queen. Don't be a drama queen. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Okay. Bye.